Welcome to Fitz Life Unfiltered with Jamie and Kim Fitzpatrick. Jamie and Kim will help you live abundantly, provide value and tips on achieving physical, mental, spiritual, and financial wealth while navigating this crazy thing we call life. Are you ready? Let's go.
Okay, guys, welcome to Fitz Life Unfiltered. I just almost forgot the name. Welcome back. We're getting in the groove. So it has been now, Kim, I don't know how long it's been, but last month before, you got back from your retreat, and now you're getting a lot of people asking about what's happening. And this is your jam. Like, if I'm being really honest with you, I would like to go to a retreat with a bunch of dudes, but it's not like...
You should.
I'm a little introverted. I don't know if that's... Like, I like people. And
You've never done it. You can't judge it.
That's not... Well, I've been... I have a small group of friends, right? And maybe most guys are like that as the older you get. Family, kids, and sports. We were just talking about going for dinner, Kyle and stuff. But like, I can tell when you're there. I can't believe how happy you get at a retreat like that being around. Because it's a business of ours or yours, but don't think that's why you do it. You generally love being there with them.
I mean, I think but if you think back to like even my wellness groups in the community,
sure.
And if you think back to my first role in like when I was 21 in senior living, I was the activity director, and they used to call me the cruise director at Sunrise Senior Living, and I loved it. I would take residents around in that bus. I got my F license, and many times during this retreat, I was like, "This is my dream. I'm living my dream." When I was younger, I was a camp counselor, and I went into rec and leisure, and like that was my goal. I loved it. I loved helping people live a deeper and better quality of life, and I witnessed that on these retreats in these containers where, you kind of are able to just do this really amazing immersive work. And it's amazing. You're in this other vortex that's in the jungle. So I felt.
Well, that was, I think we all like elderly people. We all have grandmas, grandpas, or whatever.
I specifically love older people.
Well, this is what I was going to say is that I think like to choose that as your occupation, to be around elderly people and be the activity coordinator. So you're with them every day, trying to find activities. Some of them were dementia, Alzheimer patients, right? I think that is a certain type of person. I knew though, I knew you were probably the one for me. I know we're going off sidetrack here. I knew you're the one for me because my grandfather, who was actually grandfather not through blood, but, he was married to my grandma after my original grandfather passed away in the war. You knew him before we knew each other. You had worked at the home that he was at. Yeah. And when I about 2 or 3 weeks in we're dating, I invited you over to my sister Michelle's house. And you came in, and the way you interacted with my family first, but then the way you interacted with Jim.
Oh, I love
Grandpa
him.
Jim.
I was like, thank God you're here. I was so stressed.
When I saw you interact with him, I'm like, oh, I'm probably going to marry this girl. No, I know it's a little, I know. But I actually remembered thinking that, how you interacted with him, like you just got in his face, you kneeled down, you were just like, because not everyone is like that.
Do you remember Betty?
Yes.
Okay, we have to tell this story. So firstly, Jamie and I, our love story, and we're segueing again off retreats here, but this is a good story. So we met. I was a runner. Well, okay, let's use that term loosely. I would run in the morning, but I would like walk mostly, and except for this one block where this cute guy was outside brushing the sidewalk. Yes. And it was Jamie's store, which I didn't know. I just thought he lived upstairs.
That's when I was cute. Go ahead.
Anyway, and then I was working as a bartender and a waitress because
20 years ago.
Because for those that know healthcare, you don't go into healthcare for, at least in the entry levels, you don't. Like I did work my way up and was in the high levels of corporation in Ontario and senior living. But at the beginning, I went in for a second paycheck. I was working at 3 jobs when I met you. Yeah. To just make it meet, but it worked and I loved it. And I always have worked many jobs. So for me, it was never that big a deal. So I worked at the ice rink and I worked there and
you always had cash. tons of cash.
I did.
Tons of cash. Where are we going for dinner? You got cash, right?
Yeah, of course I did. I was like working at the Thirsty Penguin with a bunch of dudes playing hockey. And I was like, this is so you, and I was single, but just like off limits. But I saw you and I was like, I love him. Who's this guy? And like shakily put his Keiths down.
Oh, come on. That's so dramatic.
I did.
That doesn't sound right.
Nervous because I didn't talk. I was so like the standoffish one. But anyway, I'll never forget. I remember you'd always tip me. You'd be the one that handled the bill. Did. And I was like, oh my God. I literally, anyway.
There's a bad joke in there somewhere.
It didn't matter. It was so fun. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I thought you were married, all those things. So anyway, very excited. All my residents knew about this guy. Okay. Because this is what you did. You just told them about, it was fun. Like we had so much fun. So Betty Hayne.
But we never talked when you were my waitress.
Never. So he never knew the runner. He never knew any of those things. Yes. We met one night at the King's Arms throwback in Oakville. You were on a group blind date, not really attached to anything.
I broke my nose though, didn't I?
Yeah, you broke your nose. I had switched my shift.
At hockey.
We beelined for each other. And
I beelined to you.
Yeah, you beelined for me. I saw you though walk in. And
I did it very coolly though. It wasn't like I was like, oh, there's a pretty girl. I think I recognize her. Let's just get that straight.
Okay, so then this is what happened. He came up to me. So Kyle's dying in the background.
Right? So, yeah, black eyes.
So you came. I did.
Like
I think I grabbed your nose. You're like, I broke my nose. I'm like, did you? And I like grabbed it. You're like, ah. Anyway, you introduced yourself and you said your name was Jamie. And I said, hey, do you like live downtown Oakville? And you're like, oh, I own Mark and Fitz downtown Oakville. I said, oh, okay, I run by your store. And then I didn't tell him. I didn't tell him I only ran that one block and then I'd pant around the block, whatever. And then I said, and do you play hockey at the Thirsty Penguin on Thursday nights? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, well, yeah, I work as the waitress and the bartender there.
I think I knew that at that time.
And then he said, this is what I remember him saying. I remember him saying this. Are you ready? Oh my goodness. I've been in love with two women this entire summer. It's been you the whole time.
This is just not true. Lies. That's what you heard.
That's what I heard. If you like insert Disney music, like this was the birds and Cinderella and like the squirrels.
The other woman.
Oh, that's the thing. To this day, like it was our mutual friend Tanya. Shout out Tanya and Jason.
She was so pissed at me for so long that I ruined that date.
And I just remember it was some kind of weird group setup. You know how you have those, right? Like someone there's a group going out, but like those two people are coming because you're going to introduce them to each other. I can't remember who it was. And because I didn't really know her, I'm going to sound like an asshole. But we just came in the bar, and I knew when I saw you, and like, oh, there she is. I didn't talk to her because it's not like we came in together. It wasn't like we were on a date, and we were in a group, and something was supposed to happen that night. I never talked to her ever again, or that group. I just was with you the whole night.
And you know, it was so cool. My sister was there. Tiffany was there. My best friend, Christine, was there. Yep. Nikki, my other best friend, was there. And I remember at one time, Nikki's like, hey, I'm going to go. Are you coming? I'm like, no, I am not leaving this bar. And then my other girlfriend, Christine, and I, we went down to the bathroom. Of course, the female bathroom was fully stocked. So we went to the men's bathroom and I was gushing. I'm like, I'm going to marry him. And you walked out of the stall. I died. I actually faded into
I don't remember that.
Thank God. Because I died. I was like, oh my God. I just like faded into the wall of the King's Arms. I'm like, oh my gosh, I sound so pathetic, but whatever. And then we went on a date. We went on our first, this is where Betty comes in. We went on our first date on the Tuesday night. So actually, I did feel stalkerish because you gave me your number. You were working. I left you a message. I didn't hear back.
All I did was work.
Yeah, I didn't hear back.
Retail.
On the Saturday, so I went to your Mark and Fitz.
Looking back now, that was a little bit
weird.
You were a little bit too.
I was too excited.
Should have played hard to get a little.
Yeah,
bit.
I did not. I was
like, oh fuck! Look who showed up right away.
Yeah, I did. I was like, hi.
It's easy.
I left you.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, you have a dog? Yeah, it's.
I did. If I look back,
you came in right away.
I did, and I was just making sure you got my message.
Did you say that?
Says
I don't know if you said that.
I was probably cool, but you had your little Lululemon jacket on and your tip tear.
my frosted tips. I was in sync. I thought I was anyway.
And then Tuesday, you called me back and you invited me for dinner Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And I told Betty, And I love Betty.
I'm going to have sex.
No, I did not.
It's a joke.
I did not say that. And then, we have our date, and I just felt like I talked the whole time. I was so nervous.
You did, but that's okay.
I was so nervous. So the next morning, I tell Betty, I had the best date with Jamie. And I said, I talked a little too much. She went, oh, honey. She goes, he's never going to call you again. And I was like,
because you talk too much.
She goes, you talk too much. Boys don't like that. And I was devastated all day. And that, I'll never forget that, with how direct Betty was. And then you called me 4:30 and you asked me out again.
I've never liked a meek or quiet person. I like personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have that. So Betty, God love her. I miss her. So part of that, just to kind of like go back into the retreats, and part of the planning of this. No, right. We're going to circle this back, but it was like, do you remember that they came to all the residents came to our wedding?
They did.
Like, it was just, I've always been someone that wants to build experience, always, whether it be when I was working with my seniors or my one-to-one clients or my wellness client. Like, I love community. I love building community. I love that. And so we joked a couple of times when I was on the retreat, and it was just, it's hard to explain what unfolded on that retreat. It was, we've had the honor of leading many different types of retreats before. This was my 33rd retreat experience that I've led professionally, but my second international one, which is a whole different beast.
Different animal.
This is a different animal. So I'm still very much an amateur at that, but I did not feel like that at this second one. And every time, they've all been incredible, and you learn so much. But at one point on this retreat in particular, we had the most amazing co-hosts, Renata, Christine. We are the Embodied Woman team. We're going to be hosting another one next November, just trying to land our location. But at one point we were sitting there, and Renata was doing one of her like really amazing sessions, one of her healing sessions. It was phenomenal. And she had like stacked up these like brown yoga blocks. They're wooden blocks. And then there was a candle in the middle, and all I could think about was, this is a campfire. I am sitting around a campfire with all these women. And I just like, that might sound ridiculous to some of you, and that's okay. But in that moment, it felt like my inner worlds were colliding, of like this huge dream when I was little to just bring life and light and fun and play. And then I lost that somewhere along the way. Because, life happens, and you think you need to be more serious than you need to be.
Right.
And you had to be that way. And I don't. And I felt that in that moment, in that circle. And all the women, we like, again, may not be for you. It's okay. It is who it's for. We were like, kumbaya, and like just started singing and laughing. There's this massive rainstorm, lightning happening, like shifts happening. And I'm like, this is it. This is it. Like, this is it.
And there's a lot of people that wouldn't be for, but that's not the point. There's a ton of people that is for.
I mean, this is the thing that some of the women that said, they're like, the way that the co-host held the energy, that we all felt safe within the first 24 hours to start having transformations like this, that's rare. And like, I love it. I can't wait to do it again. I'm hosting another one back in February with my great dear friend Elise Joan at Casa Kismet in Costa Rica. Same spot.
Yeah.
Renata will be attending that too. She and I are a package duo. She's really that spiritual side. I'm very much that mind, heart, vision driven. There is entrepreneurship, business, but doesn't really come up as much because it's really the person. And when the person's together, the businesses are together.
Well, and Elise is like a world-class Pilates.
Like Equinox. Yoga. She's just, she does bar and yoga, and she's just, she works for CBS and is their longevity expert. And so we're really pulling together longevity and legacy. And, again, this comes up, my gerontology background and designation is like, we are meant to optimally age. And there are so many different ways from a psychosocial perspective that we need to be doing that. It's not one way. It's not just one way. It's not just getting a 30-minute workout done, for example, or your walks or your steps it's so many other things that for some can feel overwhelming. But when it becomes a part of your identity and it becomes a part of your lifestyle, it's not something you go on and off of. You just are, and it is, and you be, and it's beautiful.
There's also something about, because we went as a family to Costa Rica. Costa or Costa? We're not sure.
We would accept either.
Thank you.
Okay, yes, I love that.
probably some of the nicest beaches I've seen, and there is something different about it. There's an energy there, and I know that sounds cliche, but it's very true. It's a really neat spot.
Yeah,
really neat.
You're
spot.
you're like sleeping with the sunset, and you're up with the sunrise. Like it's very different nervous system.
Lots of animals too, right?
We were in the jungle.
Yeah,
I actually got comfortable with having a couple. Actually, a lemur slept on our porch.
I saw that.
So cute. I was talking to it like a dog, but with
Until
the doors
it got
closed.
close and wanted to rip
No.
your eyes out.
I stayed away from it, but it was fun. It was a really surreal, awesome experience, and the testimonials and the feedback that are coming in has just been outstanding. And the sisterhood and the connections, and just like coming as you are, coming as you are, and being the ability to be able to be seen by women without having that judgment or that preconceived notions, and just to come as you are. The one of the most powerful things we did was we took a photo at the beginning and we took a photo at the end. And I was sobbing on Friday night when I was putting together and pairing the photos. They weren't when I was able to gift that to the women at the end on Friday night before we left, they were just like blown away. And that's what, so a lot of them are showing their family, like, how was the retreat? And they just hold them up and like, this is how the retreat was. And, it's like, that's.
Make sure, I don't know if we've talked about, are you giving them first dibs sort of at the next one?
And for Christine's, they're going to get the first one when we're landing the
just
title.
Make sure, this is going to sound,
I think it's already half sold.
It's going to sound so opportunistic when I say this, but like, if you have to get on the list, because we'll email you directly when spots open up.
Yeah, we already emailed the first interest list for,
but
I think that'll sell
I'll post
out.
the link in the show notes that you can just get your name on the list, so at least you're going to get all the emails and stuff like that, because they'll go fast.
And I think we're going to do some local ones in Canada and things like that too. But I think, from a coaching perspective, and, this I haven't talked about. I'm excited. I'm taking my final. I don't want to talk about it actually until I take it.
Yeah, don't.
So I'm not saying anything.
Let's wait till you're done. But it's cool. You'll be certified and stuff. So, yeah.
I'm going to be nervous for the next 6 weeks. Okay. We're going to go through this together. It's basically, I'm taking the biggest exam of my life to date.
It's good.
There's lots more to come.
It's part of your life's work.
Whew, yeah.
And some things you have to get some official.
Oh yeah, this is like the
for.
highest level internationally coaching federal.
You just gave it away. You just talked about it.
Yeah, but it's the highest level of this right now in this field. It's the highest
you can
level.
Say what it is. Say it.
Yeah, it's ICF. People know that. It's my ICF.
A lot of people. I know you. A lot of people don't know what that is.
Okay, so
people don't know what ICF is.
So in coaching, there is this is as governed as it can be.
Right.
The ICF is as governed as it can be. So the ICF is the International Coaching Federation, and in order to be certified through that and to be able to certify and coach other coaches, you need and be saying you're ICF certified, or it's even ICF related, you need to be ICF certified. That was a huge deal for me.
And take out another credit line.
What?
I'm kidding. It's a joke. Sarcasm. But it's not like, for you to do it. It's a significant. It's not like a weekend.
It's an investment.
All I'm saying.
2.5 years. Yeah.
It's okay. All I'm saying is this is not a $99 weekend course.
Oh, no.
This is a substantial, I was a joke, but it's a substantial investment.
It's a terrible joke.
Why? Why?
Oh, we have different humors.
Yeah, you think?
Not funny.
No, but it's not. Well, my point is that it's significant enough that
oh yeah,
you got to have the skin in the game and be serious about it to complete it.
Well, it's 2.5 years.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually remember I was talking to my proctor, Michael, who I did my original course with back in July of. The ironic part is it's literally 2 years to the date. July 2023.
Really? Wow.
July 2023. And then June 27th is my exam. But it will be really powerful, and let's see. So it's exciting. So
cool.
I'm pumped. But I don't know where I was going with that. I was just sharing it. But there's just so much coming with that. From that, there's so much that's going to come from that. And we can share more as
the point is your wheelhouse is people. And you love bringing them together. Yeah. Like that retreat.
Yeah, whether it's one-on-one or in groups or virtual or whatever. Yeah.
No, I just know how much you love the retreat. So, yeah. It's a lot of work to put together.
I miss you all so much.
It's a lot of work.
And I mean, our last year's retreat was absolutely fantastic too. So it's they're all amazing. It's incredible.
I think you refine the process though as you go.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So forth,
it will get better every time. We refine, we edit, we iterate, we enhance, we bring different people in. We 100%. Okay. We elevate as much as every single time.
Cool.
Yeah.
All good?
Oh, yes?
So you want to wrap that?
Let's wrap this up. This is the high five. This is the wrap up.
My arms are really short.
You're so short.
I'm going to say this every time we do this. This will be our official wrap up, and I'm going to be like, that's my Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Good thing Colby has my long arms.
Oh my God, the dude, he's a tank.